Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the Google Classroom of Sri Gokulam Public School. Today we will be discussing a poem, Wind, written by Subramanya Bharati. Subramanya Bharati is known as Bharatiyar. He is the legend in Tamil poetry writing. He is a prolific writer, a revolutionary leader, and a philosophical He is a prolific writer, a revolutionary leader, and a philosophical thinker. He is known as a well-known Tamil writer, a legend in Tamil poetry writing. Most of his poems deals with the philosophies of life and patriotism. He has taken part in the Indian independence. And he is also a social reformer. This poem is translated to English by A.K. Ramanujan. Let us discuss the poem. The poem Wind, of course, it speaks about the nature of wind and what wind does to us. In a deeper meaning, it also discusses about the destruction and the difficulties that we face in life. Before we get into the poem, let us take a look around us. For last 2 or 3 weeks, the news that we are hearing are not very welcoming. It is causing a certain disturbance to us because we find that there is an increase in the number of suicides committed by children and adults. We have heard students committing suicides, unable to write their exams, unable to continue their studies. We also heard recently about a famous Bollywood actor committing suicide due to depression. What causes suicides? Of course, it is the lack of confidence in oneself, the lack of willpower to face difficulties in life. The poem hence is very crucial and important for us to understand how to face problems and difficulties in our life. Let us begin the poem. Wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. Here, look what you did, you threw them all down. So the first 5 lines of the poem, the poet is welcoming the wind. He is also making a request to the wind. He is asking the wind to come softly. We know that wind can come softly like a breeze and it can come strong like a storm. So here he is asking the wind to come like a breeze so that it is very soothing and calm and it gives us a lot of energy. He does not want the wind to come in a strong and fierce form. He is telling the wind that it should not scatter the books on the floor. Scatter means throw them down. It should not break the windows. So all these shows that the wind can be very destructive. Destructive means damaging. So it is telling the wind that the wind should not destroy, should not damage anything. Instead, it should just pass by like a flow and it should give us a lot of peace and calm. But we understand that the wind does not listen to the poet. Hence, the 5th line of the poem is accusing the wind. Accusing means blaming. So the poet is blaming the wind, telling that, see, look what you have done. So from that sentence, we understand that the wind has not obeyed the instruction or it has not followed the request given by the poet, which is to come softly. The poet has asked the wind to come softly. It came very strong and it has caused damage. It has destroyed things over there. So now the poet is upset. It is angry with the wind. So here the wind is considered like a person. It is considered like a living thing, a living being. Okay, so it is like he is talking to his friend or talking to a person who is known to him. So first he is asking that person, when you're coming, come very softly. do not cause any damage and destruction over here. But that person, like a child who does not want to listen, like a very naughty child, that person is coming and creating lot of problems over there. And now what happens? Like a mother scolding a child, the poet is scolding the wind and telling, now see what you have done. I told you not to do it, but still you have done the same thing. So that way of blaming, of accusing the wind is happening over there. So he is telling, see what you have did now. Now what has the wind did? Let us check that in the next lines. So what has the wind done? The wind, you tore the pages of the books, you brought the rain, you are very clever at poking fun at weaklings, frail, crumpling houses, crumpling doors, crumpling rafters, crumpling wood, crumpling bodies, crumpling lives, crumpling hearts. So what has the wind did? The wind has tore the pages. So it has damaged the pages. Strong wind has causes the pages to tear. So it has tore the pages. It has brought rain. So not only the wind has come, it has also brought rain. So from which we understand a storm has come. Rain and wind together has come over there. So there is a total destruction. Total damage has happened. So what damage has happened over there? He is repeatedly using the word crumpling over there. Crumpling means what? Crumpling means breaking. So it is breaking a lot many things over there. Frail. Frail means very weak. So he tells that it is frail. The things that you are destroying are very frail. It is weak. So what are the things that the wind breaks? The wind is breaking houses, it is breaking doors, it is breaking rafters. Rafters means the beams of the house. It is breaking wood, doors, lives, hearts. Okay, so it is breaking a lot of things. So which means that it is destroying everything. Destroying houses and destroying the people also living inside that. That is why lives, hearts. Lives, hearts means the people who is living inside the house. So it is not only destroying the houses, it is also killing or causing damage to the people living inside the house. So there is a complete destruction happened because of the wind. And the poet is not happy with the situation. Okay, so that is what it is telling. Crumpling means breaking. It is breaking everything. It is destroying everything. Then the next line says that the wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. Very, very important line. Please underline that and hear the explanation carefully. So first let us look into the word winnows. What do you mean by winnows? Winnows means separating the grain from the husk. Now you might be well aware of how the grain is getting separated from the husk. Now there are many technological ways to separate the grain from the husk. Earlier times the grains used to be blown wind into it, and then it gets separated from the husk. So that process of separating the grain from the husk is called as winnowing. So here what is the wind trying to do? The wind is trying to separate the strong people. The grain which is hard is compared to strong people. Strong people does not mean that people who are very healthy. Okay, they are not people with a lot of muscles or who have got six-pack and all. Not those kind of people. Or who have got weight above 100 kgs. Not that kind of people. Here strong people means mentally strong people. People who are able to accept challenges in life. So a lot of determined people. Will-powered people. So those kinds of people are called as strong people. And there are people who are very weak, very sentimental, very sensitive, who are always very emotional. They are unable to handle difficulties in life. Those people are called as weak people. So here the poet is telling that the wind is the wind god. Now here the wind is compared to God. Now what is the God doing? God is trying to separate the weak people from the strong people. So that is what God is trying to do through the wind. Now, what does the poet mean by the whole thing? Now here, the wind is compared to all the difficulties and challenges that you have in your life. Okay, so just like the wind is always passing through in our life, we as human beings have to face difficulties and problems in our life. It is always there in our life. We cannot do without it. We cannot say that one problem is solved, which means that till the end of our life we will not be having problems. Problems are always coming to us. So wind is compared to difficulties and problems in our life. Then what is the wind doing? The wind is destroying everything. It is destroying lives, it is destroying houses, books, papers, everything it is destroying. So difficulties and adversities that we are facing, it causes lot of damage in our life. It causes pain, it causes hurt, it changes people. We are not able to live peacefully because of problems and difficulties, worries and tension. It takes away our peace of mind. So difficulties and problems are always there in our life. It is also very damaging and destroying. At the same time, the poet is also telling that these difficulties and problems are needed in our life because it helps us to develop into stronger people. That is the comparison that he has done over here, separating the strong people from the weak people. The people who do not have determination and willpower in life will get destroyed when problems comes. That is what happens. You are committing suicides. So committing suicide means you are a weak person and you are unable to face difficulties in our life, which is not advised or which is not accepted. We should not be like that. We should develop willpower in our life. We should develop determination in our life. Courage, strength, those values should be developed in our life. Because one thing we need to understand, difficulties and problems are always in our life. We cannot do without it. That is the line he tells. He won't do what you tell him. The poet here tells that he won't do what you tell him. Means the wind is not going to listen to you. The poet is making request in the beginning. He is telling, come softly, but the wind is not listening to it. I told he behaves like a naughty child who does not listen to his mother. Similar way, you cannot instruct or advise or request problems not to come into our life. Problems will come in our life. It is very natural. It is very, very natural that we have to face challenges in our life, difficulties in our life, problems in our life. They come to us unannounced. They do not call you up and tell you that tomorrow morning 8 o'clock I am coming to your house. Or they do not WhatsApp to you telling that, next day 5 o'clock I am coming to you. No, they come unannounced. You do not know when problems come in your life. One moment you might be just enjoying your life. The very next minute you might be you might be facing a difficulty in your life. So it comes very unannounced. So we should be always ready to face these difficulties in our life. We should be able to separate our weaknesses, whatever weaknesses that we are having, separate it just like the grain separates the husk. We should also separate our weaknesses, our negatives, our shortcomings, remove it and prepare ourselves to become very determined and strong-minded people. So that is what the poet is explaining to us. There are also many other ways to develop our mind to have courage and strength. That is what he is explaining in the next stanzas. We will go through those lines in our next class. With this, we will conclude today's session. A test paper is attached. I want all of you to attempt the test paper. Read the poem, understand the meaning of the poem. Notes of the poem is given. So in the next class we will meet. Till then, take care, have a nice day and keep studying hard. Thank you.